Struggling with a low credit score? Let's fix that without paying anyone a dime by doing the DIY repair your credit yourself by using the 8 tips that I'm going to provide in tonight's video. I have used these same particular methods on my own, actually brought my score up to a high score. Your credit score is super important for various reasons. It's simple. You basically need credit to get anything that you have or are currently trying to get, or maybe that you will get in the future, such as having a car, purchasing a home, having a credit card, or just taking out an installment loan or personal loan for something that may arise within your life. You want to make sure that you are taking care of your credit profile, because lenders are going to want to see if you are risky or if you are very responsible and they can trust you with lending the money. Tip number 1, you should be checking your credit score very often. Number 2, you should be also disputing any errors that you may see on your credit report. Tip number 3, make sure that you are paying your bills on time. Tip number 4 is super important, and it's of course keeping your utilization on your credit cards down and below 30%. Tip number 5, not close old accounts. Tip number 6, make sure that you are asking your credit card company for a limit increase. Tip number 7, you should be diversifying your credit mix. And last but not least, tip number 8, you should be willing to settle any outstanding debts that you may have. I do hear a lot of people say that your credit does not matter, and I promise you that it does. Money does not rule everything in the world. When you have a new profile, when you are trying to get new lines of credit, it's not likely for them to lend you any money because they don't see you credit worthy. And for those of you who don't necessarily know what a credit score is, your credit score is a numerical representation of your credit worthiness, normally ranging from a 300 to a 850. Credit score is based and factored off a lot of things, such as your payment history, your credit age, the types of credit that you use, and the amount of debt that you have. For example, the lower that your credit score is, the higher your rates are going to be when you are trying to make a huge purchase or any purchase period. Whether it's trying to get a car, house, loan, credit card, it's going to affect and greatly affect the interest rate that you have on that particular line of credit. Rather than if you had a higher credit score, your interest rate will then decrease. Tip number 1 is that you should be checking your credit score very often. You can receive a free credit report by visiting either of the 3 credit bureaus, whether it's Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. All you have to do is go to Google, type in which credit bureau credit report you would like to pull. Not every bureau has the same information on each of your credit report. Example, one of my collection profiles on one of my credit reports is much higher than the other one because not all past debts or accounts are listed on each credit report. And thoroughly reading and looking into your credit report to make sure you don't see any inaccuracies, no mistakes, no old addresses, old phone numbers, incorrect spellings of your name. Do see any of this information on your credit profile, you want to make sure that you are handling it as soon as possible. Another important thing that I feel like a lot of people tend to overlook is looking for fraudulent activity on their credit report. Especially nowadays, scammers and hackers, they have these unique ways to steal people's identity. So you want to make sure that you are watching everything down to the T so you can know whether or not you authorized or you did not authorize something that may be on your credit report, and you can automatically call the credit bureau and tell them this information and get it removed. Super important to make sure that you are verifying all of the information, and if you do see something that you know you did not authorize or that is not correct, you should be reporting it so it can stop hindering your credit score. Tip number 2, you should be disputing any errors that you see. If you see a collection that you know does not belong to you, you should automatically start a case and file a dispute with all 3 credit bureaus, or go to each credit bureau profile. If you see any collections that you know should not be there or you did not authorize, you need to be filing a dispute. When you go to collections and you scroll down and you select the desired account, you just click on it, and then it should the option to say, hey, would you like to file a dispute? You're going to click on that button, go ahead and fill out the information. They are going to ask you a series of questions. You're going to answer those questions to the best of your ability. If you have 100% proof that this is not your information, you can upload files and it will go under investigation, and they will determine whether or not that information definitely belongs to you or it doesn't. When you are trying to correct any inaccuracies on your credit report, you are raising your chances of having a higher credit score. It can be something as simple as a phone number, place of employment, the wrong address. You want to literally go through your credit report and do a clean sweep Don't worry, if you don't know how to get in contact with the 3 credit bureaus, I will provide the contact information here on the screen. You can utilize this information to contact them, whether it's sending them mail, like physical mail, or it's actually calling their customer support line and reporting any of this activity. Tip number 3, I know sometimes we can procrastinate and it's easy to forget to pay a bill, but you want to make sure that you are definitely paying your bills on time. That your payment history is up of about 35% of your credit score. Life gets in the way, things get hard, but this is where communication is going to come into play. If you know that you are going to be late on a bill, you need to be contacting the company immediately. Don't wait till the next day, because it's going to slip your mind and you're going to be like, oh, I forgot, da da da. You want to call them now. Seriously, pick up the phone and call them. As soon as you get your paycheck, you need to be writing down all of your expenses, so you can allocate money for those particular expenses, and then you worry about what you need to be doing, like your needs and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, bills have to be paid. If you feel like you are an irresponsible person, or you are easy to forget things, or maybe a planner is not for you, I will suggest that you put reminders on your phone to pay your bills, or set it up to be automatically draft out of your account. I know people be like, oh, I'm not that grown to have all of my bills automatically draft out of my account. I want to be the one that's sending them the payment and stuff like that, and da 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 la la la. Just get the people the money. Okay. Tip number 4, and that is keeping your credit card utilization down under 30%. If you have a credit card, then you already know your balance is reported to the credit bureaus each month. First thing that you can do is max your credit card out and don't pay it before they report it to the credit bureaus. And I say this because it makes it seem like you are not being responsible and you are maxing out your credit cards, and it's putting you way over the 30% utilization. Having a 100% utilization percentage is detrimental. I'll be real. I've been there though. I've maxed out credit cards. I've had 100% usage on my cards, and it dropped my score. Now, of course, when I did pay that balance down, or you know, I beat them before they reported to the credit bureaus, then you're fine. If you spend money today and you know that you're gonna pay it back next week, cool. But don't spend the money on your credit card if you know you don't even have the cash to go ahead and pay it off. Some companies would like for you to keep it under 10%. However, if you're like me, I use a credit card for gas, and I also use a credit card for groceries. You have to be mindful of how you are using these credit cards, because it's so easy to get caught up and get in the bind. Take it from me, I know. You do receive cool points for paying off your debt faster. I'm a living witness to that. I have my credit cards, or my debt is being paid off, I do see benefits in my score. Don't feel like all of your work is going in vain. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm not one of these people who's going to be out here like, oh, you can raise your credit score from a 560 to a 750 in 4 days. Be for real. Let's be realistic. Number 5, do not close old accounts. You have an account, let's say a credit card from 2019. It's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 5 years that you have had one account open, you are likely to be viewed as a responsible individual. Tip number 6, if you have credit cards or you have any account that's revolving credit, you can request a credit increase. The higher your credit limit is, the more wiggle room you have per se, like the more utilization percentage you will have to work with. I'm gonna do an example. You have a credit card and the credit card limit is, let's say, $300. So you're gonna take 300 times 30%. This is how much a lender is expecting you to spend off of this credit card. Yes, $90 versus if you had $1,000 credit limit. You don't have it in your bank account to replace or to pay your bill, do not use it. Tip number 7, diversify your credit mix. So having a variety of lines of credit can benefit your score in a positive way. Home loan, car loan, maybe 3 credit cards, or an installment loan. Having a strong profile and having a strong, diverse credit mix increases your chances of having a higher score and lenders finding out that you are able to maintain and properly be responsible for all of those accounts. I know you hear people telling you all the time, oh, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, don't give collection agencies any of your money. Baby, it's not going nowhere unless you pay it. If you want these collections off of your account, you have to pay the money. You can set up a payment plan. Set it up around however often you get paid. You can pay them people their money back. I promise you, I just had a collection to fall off because I paid the money. I don't have no reason to lie. This particular account that I had, I was able to select a settlement amount, and I selected the offer that they gave me, and I didn't even have to pay all the money back that I owed, as long as I was willing to pay some of it or a majority of it. I want to say I probably had like $180 left on the account. Moved it off my report because I settled to pay less. Get a grip, pay them collections, and you will see an increase in that score. Swear. These people lie to you, because some people have actually paid hundreds of dollars to get credit collections removed, and guess what? It popped right back up. And what you can also do is, before you even decide to send them any money, you can send them pay or delete. Basically, in a letter saying, hey, X, Y, and Z, I would like to negotiate and I would like to make payment arrangements for this account to bring it current. If you agree to allow me to pay, and then you go back in the back end and delete it off my credit report. If you are struggling with a low credit score, I will suggest a secured credit card. A secured credit card is basically where you use your own money to fund your credit limit to boost your credit score. I use the app called Self. Signed up. I paid $25 a month. Each month, when I paid the $25, they were reported to the credit agency. I know a lot of people saying they don't like Self. Me personally, I had no issues with it. All of the money that you are putting into that account each month, you get back at the end of the term. So now I want you to take these 8 tips that I have provided with you in today's video and apply them to your own life. I know that it may seem difficult, but I promise you, you have to start somewhere. So I just want you to keep in mind that you should be checking your credit score often to make sure that you do not see anything that does not belong on your credit report. You should also be disputing any errors that you may see, because you don't want to have anything that could be harming your credit report, when you can simply contact the 3 credit bureaus to have the information removed. You should also remember to pay your bills on time. Don't close those old accounts. Ensure that you are diversifying your credit mix. Don't any outstanding debts, because you want to show them that you are willing to try and strengthen your credit profile. Definitely encourage each of you to stay patient while you are on this new journey. You're going to have everything thrown your way to try to knock you off your game, but I'm here to tell you that working on your credit is so beneficial, and the end results make you so happy because you feel like you have put in all of this hard work. You did not have to pay anyone to do this for you. You didn't spend hundreds, because you basically poured those hundreds or thousands into yourself and taking care of your credit on your own. So make sure that you keep a positive mindset. You give yourself grace. Not everything is going to go as smoothly or as quickly as you would like, but remember, you're in the goal. And that's all that matters. As long as you see the positivity that's going to come out at the end of the tunnel, that's all that matters. Like this video, I want to make sure that you are giving this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button and a notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload new content.